Okay, we're going to make a first-person shooter game 3D in Unity. So we start with the hub, which is just about opening up, and we'll create a new project. Right, so I'm going to select where I'm going to have it stored. Projects, that'll do. Okay, so I'm selecting the Unity projects folder. Right, I'm going to call this one Ghostbusters, because the idea of this game is that we're going to control a character around this ghostly, spooky village, and it's going to be chased by ghosts who can go through walls, but of course your character can't, not being a ghost, and the idea is to shoot the ghosts before they get you. Right, so it's going to be Ghostbuster, and this one is 3D. So let's create it. Right, so here we are in our 3D world. You can see we've got our scene here where we developed the game, and down here is what we can see. Now what you can see, there's an empty world, just grey, and up here is the skybox. So this is if you wanted to have an outdoor game, for example, then it automatically puts in a sky view. So there's nothing here except this grid which shows the basic ground 0. The first thing you'll notice is this widget in the corner. Right, this enables you to control how you're looking at your world. Now you can just do separate things, like you can pan using the scroll wheel. So if you press the scroll wheel down, we can pan across this world. If you use your right button, you can rotate around. So you've got that eye option there. And as you do that on the right mouse button, you can see the little widget is moving around as well. Okay, so you can use this little widget here. So notice it's marked with these axes. So we've got the Z and the X are horizontal ones, and Y is vertical. Right, so you can just click on one of these, and it'll take you to the front view, as you can see there. So that's the front, and then up here we've got top view, the right view, and the left view, so we can rotate around the whole thing. Also, we've got an arrow here. Now this means it's perspective view. If I click on this arrow, we're in orthographic view now, so this is without any depth at all. Right, so really a 2D game is a 3D game in orthographic view. Now you can see we've got a couple of things here. We've got a light, so this is a directional light which gives some light on the game, and down here we've got the camera, and you can see those here. We've got main camera and we've got a directional light. So this is the properties of the camera, which we'll be changing later on, and the directional light. So you can say things like colors, intensity, and the direction. Okay, so let's get something in our world. So we don't particularly want an orthogonal view now, and I don't particularly want just a top or anything like that. So I can use the right mouse button to return to a sort of free view, or I can just click up here on this text. If we lock it in one direction and right click on that, I can choose different views from here. So there's my free view again, and it's click on here, make it perspective. Okay, so we've got nothing in our world, so let's put something in. Now I've created some assets for this Ghostbuster game, so I'll put them in a package. So I'll import the package. It's going to be a custom package, and I don't know where you've saved yours, but I've saved mine in this game development 3D models. So I'll open that. It's quite a big package. So we've got everything selected, which is what we need, and I'll import them. Right. So you can see that I've got a models folder here. If we just look in there, I've put lots of things to put in this village. Okay. I've also got a materials folder here, which has got things for the buildings, things for our ghosts and stuff like that. It's also got inside it a textures folder. Now, textures are basically, at their most basic, they are pictures. So here we've got some bricks, some roofing shingles, some stained glass. We've got stone and stuff like that. So these are all things that we can use to texture the images or texture our buildings. Okay, so let's put something on. So the first thing you'll need is a tray. So we don't want our character to fall off this world, so we're going to put him in a tray. So what I'm going to do is create a folder here. So we've got an empty game object, and we're going to call this the environment. Okay, so everything around our character is going to be in the environment. That just keeps it nice and tidy. So I'll put the tray in there. Oh, before we do that, let me just have a look at the tray. I made this tray using SketchUp, which is a free program, and you can import things directly. Just go to Assets, Import New Asset, and then find your SketchUp model, and it'll load it. The only trouble I'm having is getting the textures on but I'll show you that later on. So when you import something from SketchUp into Unity, we've got this SketchUp panel, and you have the option of importing cameras. I don't want to import a camera, and the other generate colliders. So this makes sure that if this is ticked, then this has a solidness about it, so our character can't walk through it. Okay, and we've also got materials. Now there are 3 materials in here, which I've put in from the materials folder. So I've got bricks, I've got stone wall, and the default material. Well, I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, so that's the tray. You can see a little picture of it down there. So let's put it into the environment. So if I drag it on top of there, right, so it's highlighted and it becomes part of the environment. Right, so I want to put it in the center of my world here. So it's come out as being in the center, but if it doesn't, remember you can always reset the position there. Now our camera, it appears, is underneath our world. Right. So just raise the camera up a bit. Now we can see it. And then if I look from the left, let's go into orthographic view. Okay, you can see there's our world, there's the tray, and there's the camera. And I can rotate it around, so that's axis, and move it. Okay, so look on top. I think I'll move it round a bit that way, and put the tray that way. Now I'm going to show you a bit about these axes. Now every object has got its position in space, and these are the global axes. But every object knows its rotation and its position because we've put it in the transform. So I can look at the local ones here. If I just click on there, and you can see that it knows this is its forward motion, yeah? So I can move it forwards or sideways. It knows all about that. Okay, and then click back on here to go into the global again. Okay, the next thing to do is to make our character, and we're going to place him on the tray.